Hey guys, good morning. So an interesting look at Bitcoin versus Ethereum. I was looking at the actual sells right now because on the day, it does look like we are going to be closing bearish for the day on both Ethereum and for Bitcoin. And for both of them, the really interesting part is that we have a pretty significant run to the upside before we actually hit any resistance. So Ethereum, you guys can see right here, it does look like in the next 6 hours, if we close bearish, again, clear tops on the stochastic, and it looks like we are going to be creating a bearish signal for the reverse MACD. So does this actually mean that we're going to touch, that previous resistance of 2,900 for Ethereum and for Bitcoin that 45K, right? So and again, they're both creating these triggers, right? And the next resistance for these two is again respectively Ethereum is 29 and Bitcoin would be somewhere in the range of 45,000, right? So we have to keep a lookout for what the movement is like. So right now on this, because they're both essentially creating a perfect sell, right? I would 100% take this short if in the next 6 hours both Ethereum and Bitcoin close on the bear side. This is essentially a perfect sell-off, right? We have the 50 MA on the day under the 200. We have we do have, the only thing that I wouldn't want to take here is because we have a break of resistance. So I don't know if I would want to take this short. But if this perfect sell off, like right here that I show you guys, if this perfect sell off does actually come into fruition and do exactly what I would think it would do, we would have something similar happen from what happened back here on June 16th. So if this perfect sell-off actually becomes a perfect sell-off, then in the next 6 days or in about a week, we would see Bitcoin back at around 32K, 30K, right? And the same thing goes for Ethereum. We would see, relative to what Bitcoin is at 30K, 32K, we would see Ethereum at those prices as well. So maybe like $2,000. But again, we really need to look at what the power on the bear side is, because if we look at the weekly, both Ethereum and Bitcoin are trading bullish, right? So they're both bullish on the weekly. So the daily is very important, because if the daily starts trading something like this, right? If on the daily we close bearish for the day, right, in the next 6 hours, and on the daily we start trading down and we actually go back to 38K for Bitcoin and for Ethereum, they're gonna move in tandem with each other, right? So they're gonna move the same. So if you see Bitcoin go down and retest, this 38K level on the day, and then we still end up being bearish, then there's a really strong chance we go all the way back down to like 32K. But if you actually see for the next couple of days, if we are bearish and you see Bitcoin instead of trailing down, not if you see it kind of go down, not break and just kind of trading sideways, that means that we're in complete bullish territory. So again, an easy way for me to explain this is kind of like this. So if you see, after we close, right, we close bearish, you see Bitcoin do something like this, drop here, and then break it, it's probably gonna go up and then probably retest and then go back down to like, 34.67, possibly lower here, back to 32, and then maybe even to the lowest point of 29K, right? That's what it might do if it actually signals a perfect sell on the day. But if it does something like this, whoops, gotta delete that. So if it does something like this, right? If it does something like this, go down here to like 38K, retests, and then kind of trails and starts trading sideways like this, like it does something like this, right? It just kind of stays in this range. That means that we are going to be set up for another push to the upside, and I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin break 45K in the next week and possibly run to 50K. Again, it's really, really important because we have the weekly on both Ethereum and on Bitcoin extremely bullish, right? So this day close right now, you guys can see right here, it does look like we might actually close on the bear side for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. If we look at both charts, right, both of them look like they look exactly the same. They both look like we're going to be closing on the bear side. But again, we don't know what's going to happen, especially right now at this break of previous resistance of 23K. So the crazy part is for Ethereum, it actually doesn't have any resistance up until 2,900 bucks. So if for Ethereum it just trades sideways and doesn't break below that 23K level, I strongly think that we're going to see a push to the upside. So if it does something like this, maybe like this, go like that, and then we actually end up closing bullish on the daily, so we create something else like this. Let me see if I can push this to the side. If we create another trigger like this where the stoch is creating bottoms and the reverse MACD is giving these little red bubbles, I think we're going to see another 2,900 for Ethereum. Again, that's all in tandem with Ethereum not breaking that 2,300 level. But again, if right now, if on the daily, like we actually close bearish, it goes down, it breaks under 23K, it probably retests up here and then goes down like this and then goes sideways, there's a stronger chance that we're going to see there's a stronger chance that we're gonna go all the way back down to under 2,000, under 2,000, right? So around that price range, we're gonna be trading somewhere around that certain that price action, right? And right here, if you look closely on the day, it does look like we're gonna be creating a death cross for Ethereum. Again, I don't really look too much at death crosses. I don't think it matters too much. I only look at whether the 50 MA or 200 MA is either on top or below each other. That's it. So right now, it does look like the 50 is going to cross under. So if I had to take a guess, I'd say I'd be looking for sells right now, honestly. I mean, right now, if there's like a huge push, you can definitely see Bitcoin and Ethereum run all the way up to their previous resistance, right? And I told you guys in my last video on the Bitcoin TA that there's a very, very, very strong chance that we're going to see 45K. I strongly believe that, but it all depends on how the day closes. If the day closes bearish and then we start trading, if we start trading down and break previous support, then we're going to go back down. If we close bearish and then we start trading like sideways or above previous support, I think we're going to see the next level to the upside, 100%. So right now it's really a if this then that scenario. Right now I would have no idea of what's going to happen unless certain points get triggered for me and I get confirmation, right? So you guys know that I only trade based off of confirmation. I would never jump in on speculation. So I would not be looking at trading, for example, Ethereum or Bitcoin just because I'm getting that signal, right? I would have to wait 6 hours to see what's actually going on, and I would have to see what the actual trading price action is. So if Ethereum breaks under and it goes back and retests, I'm looking for sells, right? If it trades like this and it doesn't break that support right here, I'm looking for buys 100%. And I can bet that it's going to be going back to 2,900 and Bitcoin to 45K. So please keep that in mind that we are about to, I'm not saying we are, but if I'll probably update you guys in 6 hours, but if within 6 hours we actually close bearish, then there's a strong chance we're going to go back down to like not previous lows, but somewhere around that price action. But it really just depends on us breaking previous support. So I think previous support for Bitcoin was like 39K, 40K, and right now for Ethereum is 2,300. So it really depends on how we close, because if we're closing under that support level for the next bear cycle, which is going to happen between the next couple of days, if we do close today, we're going to see we're going to see lows again, and this more than likely was just a dead cat bounce, right? But again, it really just depends. It's an if this and then scenario. I'm not going to say we're going to rally high, we're going to rally low, but we need to see how price moves on this daily bearish daily bearish momentum, because if it trades sideways and then it closes bullish on a day, we're gonna go see we're seeing new highs. I 100% believe that. But if we start closing bearish and we actually start moving to the downside, we're gonna start looking at something like I don't know. We're gonna start looking at lows again, basically. If we actually creating tops right here, I would say generally we might be looking at, I would say at most like a golden retracement somewhere in the price range of 2,000, which basically goes back to exactly what I said, right? I'm looking for a price range of 2,000 to 2,100, which is this 2,000 level. I think we retrace to 2,000 maybe, and then shoot up to the upside again. Because again, I don't know if we're actually going to make that actual break to the downside on the death cycle, or what is it called, in the death cross. We might actually retrace, and we can have the 50 MA, right? So you actually have the 50 MA not cross to the downside, have it move up, this thing come all the way back down, break support, bounce off the 50 MA and create divergence, and then start running to the upside. There's a lot of things that can happen right now. But again, all we're waiting for is 6 hours, that close of the day, and how Ethereum and Bitcoin trade after that bear close. That's what we're looking for, and I'll update you guys in 6 hours. But so far, I wouldn't even buy anything right now just because it can run up higher or it can run up lower. There's no way of knowing yet. I wouldn't know for like another 6 hours or so, and probably have like a better estimate of where I think price is actually going to for both. And it does look like right now, if I had to guess, it does look like Ethereum might be leading a little bit, which goes back to the other. I think I did another TA of Ethereum and why I think it was actually leading, because on the weekly you actually see Bitcoin not do anything until the week of July 19th, right? And for Ethereum, what happened for Ethereum? Like Ethereum on the week of July 19th, that's when it actually closed bullish. So why was Bitcoin trading bullish for like 3-4 weeks, and then as soon as Ethereum closes a bullish week, that's when Bitcoin starts moving. So I can definitely see what is it called? I can definitely see Bitcoin now maybe starting to follow Ethereum, which is the pretty funny part, I think. You know what? I should probably move my. Or what would actually be 29.3? No, I move it here. I think Ethereum's new resistance would probably be 28.63 and not 2900 anymore, just because there's more support around there now. 29.39. Yeah, gotta move it to 2800. There's way more resistance there now. But yeah, that's what essentially happened. And then I'll follow up in like 6 hours or so. I'll see you guys later.